this is what I recommend, is that if you go back to that space where that teacher had you read out loud and the kids laughed, or the teacher kept you in from the playground, or you had the answer, but she said no, it was wrong, or he said this, or there's so many different stories. And that story is trapped inside of you. And I honor that story if you want to keep it there. If that's something that has held you up, you know, you don't have to do this. Nobody has to do this. But if you think that that story is something you would like to change, then whoever you are, and the size that you are now, at the age you are now, go back to that room, to that place, wherever it was, where that definition of books sits and waits. So there's going to be a tiny version of you in there. And so walk up to the tiny version and let them know you're there. See how it's going. Look around at the surroundings. See it clearly one more time, the teacher or the situation, whatever it is that's stuck this definition of books there. And ask if the small version of yourself would like to leave. They may not. They may. It's a small version of you. You can decide what to do at that point. So if they don't want to go, then tell them you'll come back, and go back every day. Go back and see them every day. But if they want to go, depending on how you're feeling, the relationship, what they need, be the person they needed. If they need you to pick them up, pick them up. If they need you to put your arm around them, put your arm around them. Whatever it is they need from you, do it. And then turn towards the door and decide what to do next. Now, the person that did this, right, is there somewhere in that room. And you have lots of choices, obviously. I will say the most beneficial to you and the small version of yourself is to wish them peace. Because they were conveying what they thought books are. So if they think books are informative, then they were trying to teach you that they were informative. And information is that way, which means the person who did it thought that way, right? They made connections that way. So, they're not peaceful. They're not peaceful in their reading. There's just no way. But if we have peace in our reading, we convey peace. If we have joy and happiness, we convey joy and happiness. Unless there's a situation that makes us fearful. So we could want joy and happiness, but then we're afraid our kids can't read, or we're afraid that first graders won't read. We're afraid we won't get paid. There's lots of fear. So the idea is to believe that books are and go inward, and then convey that to other people in a way that without fear, so it didn't happen to you. And I'm saying this because there's a whole bunch of different people going to be watching this video. But decide what you and the child, your child version of you need. Do you want to flip the teacher off? You can. You want to flip whoever? You can do whatever you want. But if you wish them peace and let them go, you never have to go back. And you and the small version of you can leave and just keep going and leave the school. And then you can let all of that go. And I promise you, all the literacy is inside your head. And my technique, all I do is connect the heart and the head together with you and then that's it. So I'll do that in the next part, but we have to work through our books are, and reconcile the negative way they might have been put in. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry for all the kids I did that to. I mean, this is why I'm here, because I have to make amends to a whole bunch of kids. So you can be here with me. But this is what we're going to do. So it starts with us. We heal us inward. Then we go outward, and we can help create a whole bunch of readers. And I promise it's really great. And you're going to like how we do it. So if you work through this, take your time. Obviously, this is not like in a Zoom meeting you do this, but, tonight or tomorrow morning, when you have a nice spot and you can peacefully go back and get that little kid. The first person I did this with, his name was Kenny. His name is Ken. And he went back and got Kenny. And Kenny thought that he had forgotten him. And he picked Kenny up, and Kenny came home. And when they messaged me, he said Kenny was behind him, and he just said, "Thanks for sending Ken. So I'm sending you. Go back. Get that kid. We can change things. It's going to be better."